Welcome to the Deep End Podcast, brought to you by Deeps Media and Salt and Vinegar Chaps.
Okay.
Okay, that's not true. We're actually not. Okay, stop. That's not true. We're not sponsored by Salt and Vinegar Chips. Although that would be kind of cool if Miss Vicky's called and said, "We want to sponsor you, but we only want to give you salt and vinegar chips." I don't know.
Half their business would be gone.
All right, I'm Deep. We got T Substitute. We're going to rock and talk through some interesting things today. How's it going?
Good, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, too. You too, man. Did you have turkey?
Happy Black Friday.
Oh, yeah, today's Black Friday. Did you do any shopping?
Yeah, I did. I went on Amazon and Target and just kind of flipped through and got a bunch of useless stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I woke up at 1 o'clock, couldn't sleep. So I ordered batteries, a drone, and one other thing. And then I went back to sleep. So it was
I got
all
the
a
light you
dream.
suggested.
Huh?
I got the light you suggested, the Govee light.
Oh, yeah. It's on its way.
That was half off. Yeah, it was half off. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try
Phenomenal. It will change your life.
Yeah.
There's so many multicolored.
Otherwise, there's not much. I mean, I feel like it was a little light this year. I saw PS5 was cheap. But like, other than that, there wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah, remember when PS5 and you had to like do that lottery thing, like go on Walmart and refresh your screen, and nobody ever got one. Well, I got one that way, and then I canceled the order because I think it was more fun to chase it. Like
And
chase.
actually own it. You're like, I'm not going to play this.
Yeah,
thing.
I was like, I'm not gonna. And once it said your order's confirmed, I was like, I don't want this. I won by getting it. I don't want it now. So yeah.
I'm still old school with the PS4, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean the games are the same, right? You can even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's a Fortnite machine at this point.
Pretty much. All right, let me share my screen. I got some interesting things here. Let's see. All right. Have you heard about this? The Vegas Sphere?
Yes, that thing is insane.
Right?
I actually saw it. I went to Summer League this year, and I saw like their trial run of it.
Get out of here. You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it in person.
Look at this.
It is massive. It's incredible.
I think it's phenomenal. Like, so what are they doing? Like, how are they? I mean, did you get to learn a little bit about the technology behind it?
Well, yeah, it's a bunch of little, essentially little like hexagon TVs, and they're all wired together.
No way. So
it's like a
that's what they're
giant
doing.
puzzle. Yeah, when you get up close, you can kind of see the TVs, and you can see through the gaps, so you can see through there a little bit. It's not as obviously it's not as impressive when you're like right up on it because it's like seeing the strings at the puppet show, but from far away, it's unbelievable. It's like crystal clear globe.
And like I like this one. I like this guy. So people have been sending pictures in from like, their apartments or whatever, and they're able to like from their window they're sitting there, but then they can see this little guy staring at them.
Oh yeah, the smiley face looking thing,
Yeah,
the yellow one.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. I like that.
No, that is super cool.
Yeah.
Apparently, advertising it's like, I don't know, 400 grand a week or something. I don't know what the price is.
Well, you heard what's his name? Dana Cook, right? For MMA or whatever. He's
Dana White.
Dana White. Yeah. Who's Dana Cook? Dana Cook's like a comedian or something. But he's reserved it for next year to do like a fight inside of it. Did you go inside?
No, it wasn't open yet. I didn't even know you could go inside of it. I just thought it was a cool screen.
That's what I thought, right? Like, this is awesome, like the Grand Prix. And I thought what was funny was, like, as the cars are going by, apparently, like, his little eyes are, like, staring at him. Tell me that wouldn't mess you up if you're going, like, 180 miles an hour. And then you look up and you see this guy, like, staring at you.
Just little eyeballs following you.
Yeah. Like, that's not going to end up in my nightmares.
The F1 race was, I heard it was insane on the strip because like everything was shut down. You couldn't get around, but
Yeah. Well, they had
yeah,
their like little problem, right? The first with the test or whatever. Didn't Were you telling me like a car exploded or something?
yeah, they had a manhole cover that they didn't seal down,
Yeah, that's horrible,
and it
man.
popped open and destroyed a car.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the main thing you probably want to check before you send cars out at 200 miles an hour
Yeah, I
is
guess
everything off the road? Who won the race?
Max Verstappen.
Yeah, it's not even a real person. You just made that up.
Verstappen. Yeah.
It's like a Disney
I watch. I
character.
don't really watch a lot of it, but I tuned in. It's Vegas. I love Vegas, so I watched it. I was hoping for Lewis Hamilton, but it didn't happen. He finished like seventh or eighth.
Oh yeah, speaking of Lewis Hamilton, you sent me this. This is amazing. Like this is basically how he started out, right? Radio
Oh
controlled
yeah, yeah,
cars,
yeah, yeah.
and
That's
his father had to work like 4 jobs, but he just saw like the talent in him, and
yeah.
that's
And
how he started.
it started with like a remote control car. Did it say?
Yeah, started with a
He
remote
had
control
great
car.
hand-eye coordination, good, and then he bought him a go-kart, and then he just kept moving up until Formula One. Incredible.
I mean, it's incredible that he had uh, that talent, right? But what's also incredible is that his dad saw that talent and then pushed it.
Right.
And then you think like his dad got it right. Well, I was thinking about this and like trying to relate it to my life and said, what if my dad, when I was a kid, had seen some talent in me and said, I'm going to push it 100%. You know what I mean? And I think where I would have ended up is like dominating food eating contests.
I was just gonna say,
Thanks.
Kobayashi would be in trouble.
Yeah, like my dad would have seen me just like hoss down a whole pizza and been like, he's got something there,
Yeah, there's something there.
or like 42 hot dogs. My dad's like, I'm taking him to Connecticut. There's a competition. It would have
Yeah, the
been like,
July 4th.
yeah, July 4th, like Independence Day, right? Like, eat a bunch of hot dogs. What about you?
I
What do you
mean
think your dad would have
the
done?
leap. I mean the leap from remote control car to actual driving is kind of wild.
Well, he just
I don't know.
pursued it, right?
Yeah,
Excuse me.
my parents were, you know, my parents were probably had blunt as Asian parents. They're just like you have to do math. Like you're good at math. That's.
You would have just
They would.
dominated like random street calculations, like just rocket
I don't
going down
know.
to New York
I have
and
no
like
idea. If it
42
was up
times
to them,
8.
I would have been.
Huh?
Yeah, doctor for sure. If it was up to them, but they didn't. They were different. They just let me do whatever. Like my brother and I went into business. They didn't. They never like pushed us one way or the other. They just let us do whatever we wanted, which was kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's good in
I don't
a
know.
but like if
I
they had seen
loved
some,
basketball as a kid, but there was no Jeremy Lin. There was no Kihei Clark. There was no like Asian star that you could point to and say, "Hey, you could be like them." So that
you could have been
like
the first, man.
back then there was no chance. There was just like, why would you waste your time playing basketball? There's nobody that looks like you out there. Um, so like that dream died very young. So it was very much like all right, well, I guess I'll just be a fan of basketball, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm kind of
It's
happy. Like
different.
I'm happy that my parents didn't see what they thought was talent when it was just, I missed lunch, and so I'm just extra hungry. Like I didn't want them to like perceive that to be a talent.
They could they could have.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you
although,
think it's like to be a full time eater?
well, I mean, there's like I don't know if you've ever watched some of those YouTube videos of the people that actually go to those contests and eat like they're not even eating it. Like when it gets to hot dogs, they're just like they're getting them inside of their body.
Right.
That's all it is. It's like if
Yeah.
you could put it in an IV and they could suck it down that way, they would. If they could absorb, that's where this is going. They're gonna just eventually, you're just gonna sit there and then you absorb the hot dog, and how many people can
Yeah.
absorb it the fastest?
Yeah, when once Elon gets a hold of the food eating, it's gonna be part man, part hot dog.
The
That's
first thing
like
he's gonna do is try to change the name of a hot dog to like some random letter.
cyborg.
Z.
Yeah, you're right. You just look at it and you just consume it. It just disappears.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like there's no updates to the Tesla. He's given up on that. He's just like, I got to get into hot dog eating contest. That's where this is.
Tesla can help you eat. No, I think it's got to be tough. It's a sport, right? Like you see the guys like Kobayashi. He's relatively fit looking.
Who's Kobayashi?
It's the hot dog eating champion. Him and Joey Water Chestnut.
Oh yeah, Joey Chestnut. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Those two are like the 1 and 2 every year. I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know Joey Chestnut. I think he's from out here in the Bay Area. He is not as fit as Kobayashi. Kobayashi looks like, you know, he's
So
he's like a thin, fit guy.
the ones that I've watched on YouTube and I've seen like, more than a couple of times are not the top 3. It's the number 4 and 5 because I think those guys are still
Yeah,
putting in the work. Those guys are the ones I want to watch because they don't know what they're doing yet. They're just still putting it. They're getting it in their
they're still
body, but they're
growing.
chewing. You
Who?
can't
So
chew.
who are you watching? Matt Stoney,
No, there's a man.
Man
I don't even
versus
remember
Beard,
what. Huh? What'd you just
Man
say?
versus Beard.
No, it's like some guy named George or something. It's like this regular dude that's in the middle of like nowhere, Idaho or something, and I think he's a teacher, and he just pounds like foods that they don't even use in contests.
He just like
Like
cereal. I'm in.
yeah, like a whole thing of cereal, whole thing of mac and cheese, and he does like Thanksgiving specials and very contextual. But that's why he's not number one because he's still chewing, and then he drinks like Powerade with it. You can't do that.
Yeah, there's a guy, Man versus Beard, who I watch. He's from the UK. He does all these food competitions, and he just
He's
like
awesome.
destroys all of them. Yeah, he's a killer.
Yeah, yeah, he's got like a really good sense of humor. I like that. And he's got it's always like water or something, and then at the end he'll pull in like a Diet Coke. It's like his
And then he'll
little
get a dessert. And then he'll say like, "Do
always
you want
right.
dessert?"
And I love when he goes into these like little restaurants. He's like, "So nobody's beat this record. All right, do you think I can do it?" And they're all like, "No, no way." And then he just goes for it.
I just don't like the way he pronounces yummy. He says yumi.
You
It just
me.
bothers me. I've never heard anyone pronounce it that way.
There needs to be like
It's
some.
always. Is that a UK? Is that a British thing? It's yumi, not yummy.
Honestly, I don't know. I've been to the UK once, and somebody stole my passports, which was not Yumi or Yummy. So
This is very yumi.
it was very irritating. However you want to pronounce that. So,
It's hard.
all right, check this out. Just when you thought like there was nothing else scientists could do, they're bringing back the woolly mammoth. Have you heard about this?
I have heard about this on Joe Rogan.
What I love
I
about
watched
it,
Joe
it's
Rogan
right in my hometown, Dallas. I love it.
the Woolly Mammoth De-Extinction Project underway in Dallas. Holy cow! It is right in your neighborhood.
So Deep Ellum is a part of like downtown Dallas that is very like hip and trendy and stuff. But this is the best part, right? Using DNA from Asian elephants and those recovered from woolly mammoths, they're able to bring it back, and they're injecting it with an DNA of an actual Asian elephant, right? That's what they're saying, which is 99.6 whatever. I don't even know what this word is. Have you ever heard that word? Genomically?
Yeah, I
Gemic?
don't know.
Huh?
I have no idea.
Yeah, what is that word? Geminacally similar, said James. And that's
It's
just part of the
this is
project.
This just reminds me of Jurassic Park with the Dino DNA.
Dino
Remember that
DNA.
little video?
But dude, how crazy is this gonna be if all of a sudden we're walking around? You know what's gonna happen? This
The
is
woolly
gonna be the
mammoth.
reason that like Dallas gets just like done cooked because they're gonna bring the woolly mammoth back, and then they're gonna forget to like turn off one feature in the DNA, and this thing is gonna go rogue.
Wow, like this is just to do it, right? There's no like reason to do this.
Absolutely no benefit. Do you see any benefit to like the human society or the world or anything to bring back The woolly
The woolly
mammoth.
man. I guess they were just like, hey, we killed these things. Let's bring it back. Bring him back. Run it back. We apologize. And then they're gonna roam the earth again, I guess.
Yeah, like this guy's like, yep, that's right. I'm bringing back the woolly mammoth. And then the reporter's probably like, well, do you think you can bring back Michael Jackson? Nope, the woolly mammoth.
The woolly mammoth. I mean, so what? The de-extinction. So they will no longer be extinct or endangered because you can make them.
Correct, and I
So
guess well, see, the thing is that you're utilizing the DNA of something that matches 99.6% Jomnakli, or whatever that word was. Right? That's
yeah,
the key to it. So that you have to
gymnastically.
find something that's 99.6 Jomnakli, similar to whatever you're trying to bring back.
That's us. That's us and chimpanzees, right? So they could remake humans with
Well,
chimp DNA.
why not? Why not? Why
I
not?
wonder if they.
Huh?
Yeah, where are we going with this? What happens? Like, what is the end goal of this? Like,
That's what
you
I'm
can
trying to find out.
clone people and you can clone their organs. So if your heart fails, they just put a new heart in there. They clone it and put a new one in.
Well, I hope that's what the segue is, because otherwise, what are we doing? Like, why'd we bring, like, woolly mammoths didn't live in, dude, Texas is like 142 degrees in the summer. And it's like, what is today? November 25th or 24th. And it's going to be like 70 degrees outside.
That's awesome.
That's great, but that's not so
Maybe
fun
we're
for a
just
woolly
preparing.
mammoth.
We're preparing for the winter, the ice age that's coming. We're just prepping everyone for ice age.
So they said instead of like figuring out a way to like keep food fresh, keep a tomato fresh in the winter or the ice age, let's bring back the woolly mammoth.
Yeah,
I don't think
I
this
mean
is
it's
going to
one
work
way to
out,
do it.
dude. I don't think
Yeah,
this is going to work
it's
out.
it's an interesting way to do it. It's like, hey, the ice age is coming. Climate is out of control. What should we do?
I mean,
Well, you know who was there around then? Let's
why
ask
in
the woolly mammoth.
why in
Let's bring him
Texas?
back and ask him.
Why in Texas is it like
Why not?
Texas? Like, I mean, people are going to end up riding it or like doing bullfighting, that kind of stuff with it. People are going to
I mean,
abuse this thing.
I'd be really excited if they open a Jurassic Park, despite what they say in the movies.
I would too.
I would still
I'm not gonna
visit
lie.
a real one. I
I
would
mean,
visit a real Jurassic Park
I
for
guess the
sure. I would.
evolution then is then you can start bringing back dinosaurs, right?
Yeah,
Well, you bring back dinosaurs. Somewhere on that list needs to be John Madden, Michael Jackson, and the
for
Integra
sure.
Type R. Like, you got to bring that back.
No, but you got to find the mosquito in the amber that's in the ball,
It's ridiculous,
and then
man.
you extract that mosquito's DNA blood because he sucked on a dino T
Oh God,
Rex.
they're gonna bring Mary Kate, and Ashley Olsen back.
No, that's cool. Science is incredible.
It is incredible. I mean, it is like it's been 4,000 years since we had a woolly mammoth walk around Dallas, and I think it's appropriate. You know, right in line with when they're gonna have the World Cup here. Let's just destroy the entire city by
The
bringing
woolly
these
mammoth.
huge woolly
That'll be the
mammoths.
Dallas woolly mammoths. I
Yeah,
mean, the only thing that's a little weird is like I've been donating to cancer research for my entire life.
yeah,
It's still killing everybody. Yeah,
nada, right?
we're gonna have a woolly mammoth before beating cancer. It's
Yeah,
kinda
that's the thing.
I
And
don't
then
know.
the woolly mammoth is gonna get cancer, and then they'll solve that and go, wait a minute,
Yeah,
let's
maybe.
backtrack that and put it into humans.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that's
I
a
don't know.
wild one.
I
I'm
don't know.
excited for it though. I'm not gonna lie. I
We'll
will
see
go
what
to a
happens.
zoo that has a woolly mammoth for sure.
Oh, I will. I mean, it's not going to be a far drive for me. I guarantee this thing's going to end up in my neighborhood, just like bobcats and stuff.
It'll first off, it's probably randomly just gonna turn into a cat one day.
Yeah, they're gonna mess it up. I know they are. Deep Ellum is a crazy place, man. There's so many
Yeah.
drunk people and drugs down there that somebody's gonna get something wrong, and this thing's gonna turn into like a hairy Taylor Swift or something. I don't know.
I mean, Vegas finally got a F1 race and they forgot to cover the manholes. What do you think's gonna happen with this woolly mammoth?
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to think about it. But
Americans aren't known for their attention to detail
no, they're not.
in their manufacturing. When's the last time we manufactured anything? Like,
That's
doesn't
true.
happen.
I don't
Now
know.
we're gonna make a woolly mammoth. That thing for sure is gonna be jacked up somewhere.
This could be messed up. It is. There's no doubt about that.
Oh,
All right.
I'm
Well,
in
you and
though.
I are not scientists, but the one thing that you and I think we have this talent, like we're talking about what kind of talents do we have? And yeah, you put aside the basketball and the food eating. I think cars, right? I think you and I know cars pretty well.
For
And,
sure.
and,
Love cars.
heck yeah. And we'll talk about some of the interesting ones we've had, but I want to talk about this, the Honda Prelude, right? You've seen it. They're thinking about, or they are bringing the Prelude back,
Yeah, they're gonna extinct. They're gonna bring it back from
right? Just like the
extinction.
Woolly Mammoth. Now this I can get on board with. This bring
I'm in.
back, 100%,
I'm in.
right?
The
All in with
Prelude.
this one. It's electrified. I don't know how I feel about that one, but
Oh, is it?
yeah, look, it's Honda's new electrified Prelude concept.
Oh, it's still woolly mammoth on the screen.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go. You can see it
I'm
now.
with it, man.
Huh?
This is the new Prelude coupe you've been waiting for. Yeah, man. I'm excited.
I like it. It's kind of a throwback, right, to the 90s
Yeah.
version of where the front, when they first rounded it off, the back, I don't know, it's more like a Porsche Taycan to me from the back.
No, I like it. It looks cool.
But I think Honda did a great job. I mean, I think they're on point with this one. Like, and yeah, even if it's electrified, I'm sure it's still gonna have fun. I mean, it's like a, you know, enough torque and everything. It's gonna be so light.
The question is, would you buy one?
So, I mean, like, look, let's these
It's
pictures, right?
geared towards people like me, our age, right? Like
I
that
think
remember
so.
this.
That's the Civic. That's the old Prelude. I don't
Yeah,
think it
that thing's
necessarily looks like this one. I think it's the one right before this one with the rounded eyes. But for somebody who's in the market to buy this one, what are the other cars you're going to look at? Chances are, can you
Integra.
can you see this one? I don't know if I'm sharing this. Hold on.
No, I'm still looking at the Prelude.
So, if hold on, let me get you back here. Where did you go? Where did you go? I got too many screens open. But yeah, if you're in the market, you're going to be looking for what?
I would say probably WRX.
Yeah, WRX, I think so.
Um,
I
you'll
think
probably look at the Corolla GR. You'll
okay.
probably look at maybe this Supra, maybe.
I think so. I think you'd be looking at the
I
Integra.
mean, it's probably gonna be like 50 grand. I'm guessing is the Prelude probably like 40 to 50, something like that. 40 fully loaded, maybe 60.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
price range wise, you're looking at you got a lot of options, right? Like
I don't even know how they're pricing. Like I don't know where this is supposed to come out.
I'm sure they haven't announced. They just announced it at SEMA, right? That they're coming back with it.
Yeah.
Um,
So, a car that you and I have both owned is the Subaru WRX, right? They call it the Impreza WRX.
yep.
You had I came to California and you had it. I think you picked me up from the airport in it, right?
Yeah, the Bug Eye one, the
Bug
second
Eye.
one.
The second one, yeah. So you had, God,
Yeah.
look at that. You had like one of the first gens.
Yeah, it was like right when it came out. I was
Yeah,
working at a dealership at the time, and the guy hooked me up with one at like Invoice, and they were selling for like 5 grand over sticker when they first came out.
that's nuts. I don't remember this one. Like, I feel like the first gen wasn't popular until the Bug Eye came out.
Yeah, because they didn't bring the WRX stateside. That was only in Europe. The 22B was only in Europe. And
Oh,
so when
you're
they
right.
finally decided to bring the turbocharged sport car, it was the Bug Eye. It was the Gen 2.
You're right. So you had the
So like
Bug
the
Eye.
Yeah, the first gen looked better, but it was like a family four banger. It wasn't turbo box.
Right. It wasn't what everybody wanted. And then
Yeah,
I remember I came out there, and we'll get into like what we did to them, but I loved that car. Yours was World Rally Blue, and you had the gold wheels at that time, right?
yeah. I bought a different set of wheels from Tire Rack, and then I powder coated them gold and put them on. It looked amazing.
That was
It looked,
crazy. That car was
I don't
sick.
have any pictures, but I did the rally headlights that weren't all white like that. They were like half black with three little bulbs. It was really cool.
Yeah, I think I got it
Yeah,
was
like that.
this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then that was kind of,
Yeah, that was what it looked like.
that was a
I
crazy
love that
car.
car. Yeah, that car was so cool.
Yours didn't have the STI tail, right? Which
No,
I
it
didn't
didn't have the
like.
wing. Yeah, yeah, it had no wing,
It had the
but it
black.
had the gold wheels and those
Uh-huh.
lights.
And you had the
It's more
hood
like that
scooper.
second picture. The second picture you had. This pretty much that. I lowered it. I had that. It was sick.
That car was crazy. I mean, I
I
just
actually
remember the
made
color blew me away because think about it. What year was that? It was a 2000,
2002, I think.
and it
I
didn't. I
didn't
mean,
have it for very, so I souped it up. I did all that stuff on it. I think I paid 23,000 for the car. I souped it up, got the wheels, did all the thing, and I sold it for 30,000.
oh, that was crazy.
Yeah,
So you,
back then you couldn't make money on cars. Like somebody
yeah,
offered me 30 grand. Someone left a note on my car and said, "I'll buy it from you. Please contact me." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And I emailed him, and he said, "I'll give you 30 grand cash for your car." I was like, "Okay." I didn't. I took it.
that's nuts. So talk about what you did. You lowered it. You said you lowered it, right? You had it on springs.
Yeah, I had the iBox shortened springs, and then I had the rally lights on the front. I had
So you
a
actually
blow
had
off
lights. You
valve.
didn't have the covers.
I didn't have the covers. I had a blow off valve. I had a Vishnu Stage Zero, and I had the gold wheels. I didn't do anything crazy to it. It was fast. It was nice. I
And
didn't
that,
put exhaust. I mean, sound wasn't a thing
yeah.
back then. For me, at least, I never cared about like being loud.
But we
Um,
were talking about your exhaust. Like I think to get that stage, I think you did a downpipe,
Yeah, I did a downpipe. I think stage zero, I had the downpipe and a chip and something else.
right? And it was, of course, manual.
It was manual. The clutch on it had to be replaced it had a recall in the clutch. But that car was bulletproof. Like,
The Boxster engine.
yeah, that thing was amazing. I love
Yeah.
that car. I wish I still had it, but whatever. You
And
can't
then,
keep everything, right?
yeah, well, we try, but you see something else and you're like, oh man, squirrel.
Pretty
But
much.
I remember riding in that thing and then I came back to Virginia and I was like, man, I got to get that. And I don't remember what year I was out there, but I must have been 2004 or right after because when I got back, I went to look and this is what I was able to get the 2004. And I think they call this the bubble eye.
Yeah, I
No,
liked I liked your
yours.
I liked the your headlights more than the ones I had.
Yeah, I
Personally.
mean, I think out of all the years, like this only goes up to 14, but now they haven't really evolved much off of this. I liked mine and yours the best.
Yeah, I like that. The lights on yours were the best. I thought. I like that. It's like it's rounded but not buggy like the one I had.
And I got mine, and this is what I got. This is the day I bought it, and I took it out to like just
Oh,
I
that's so
pulled over to
cool.
like construction site and took a picture, and that's what it looked like stock. And I remember like sending you this picture and going, "Dude, this is amazing." And actually, I bought it that day, and I already had this Impreza badge ordered, so I swapped it out when I left the dealer.
So sick.
Like it had started because you had already started modifying yours.
And you could do all that stuff on your, not like today where it's like complicated.
Yeah.
Now
This
you could do it all. Like I'm by no means a wrench head, but I like can do the vast majority of stuff for that car.
and then evolution, right? It just started getting crazy and out of hand where no badge, STI hood scoop, and then this is wintertime, so on the East Coast we had snow. And I remember putting these Rotus slipstreams on it with like the ultimate winter tire, Hakkapelitas, and it was just a horrible
Yeah, the
drive
four wheel
because
drive.
yeah,
Yeah.
all wheel drive in the snow is phenomenal, but when it was 50 degrees, it felt like you were driving on ice.
No, that
And
car was sick.
then they started putting like the actual Japanese uh, from Subaru Japan, the aero guards, and then I developed like a whole company around the car and started importing parts from JapanParts.com.
Oh yeah, the Subi tuning. I remember when you did
Yeah.
that.
And then like aero guards. What I like doing, and I like doing this to the car, any car I buy, I call it OEM Plus, right? And it's not something I invented, but that name, but it's like make it look OEM, but enhance it with maybe parts that are off of a model that's higher than yours or parts that are maybe not readily available, right? So like this front aero guard was from an STI. Obviously this is not an STI, but you know, putting that on there made it look a little different. These aero guards came from Japan, which we couldn't get stateside easily.
That car looks nice, man. Wait, do you remember how old your kids were when you had that car?
Yeah, so 2004 would have been like right. So when I bought the car, we didn't have any kids, and then I sold it when my our first was going to be born because we needed a bigger car.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, do you remember having a car seat in that car? I don't
No,
remember.
never. These pictures are actually like you can see the state or tax thing expired in '06, so this would have been November '05.
All right.
And I sold it before that. Um, but yeah, remember the Defi gauges or Defi, however you pronounce it?
Oh my God, those were crazy.
So these were cool. This was like exhaust temperature boost and oil temp, and then you record. This was the controller for it, and you could actually record as you were driving what the performance on it was and play it back to kind of understand where you should set your peaks and everything. And
No, that car's insane.
it was such a clean install. Like I loved it. And this was my like the forever memory I'll have about the WRX. It was the hazard button from an S203, which was a Japanese model. And I bought it and I remember just posting pics. Remember we used to use forums back then, right? I know
Naziok Forum.
yeah, Naziok, right? So I posted pictures on Naziok and everyone was like, "Whoa, where did you get that button?" And I was like, yeah, I can get it for you." And then I started bringing them in. Then I started reselling them, and I remember I got up to like 10,000 of these that I had sold to the point where Fuji Industries, who owned Subaru at that point, sent me a letter saying like, "You got to stop. Like we don't have any more of these buttons." And yeah, like when you look back at it, I think the one thing that I remember that I really liked about owning a Subaru or owning a WX was the community,
Totally.
right? Wasn't it like wherever you went, you felt like there was always somebody from Naziak around or
Totally. I mean, and that was the fun thing because everybody liked working on them, and I wasn't great at it. So if I asked the question, um, on the forum, people would be like, "Hey, we're gonna do like a build on Saturday. Bring your car by. We'll work on it." And that, to me, that was so cool. Like a community of people, you'd come by, they'd help you install something or do something and mod it. It's fun.
it was the best and the worst feeling too because I was like you, right? Like I could do like basic things. I could fill up like washer fluid, but these guys are like putting a new exhaust on my car, and I wanted to participate. They're not going to take money, and so I'm like sitting there like doing like ninja moves to like, you know, give them a free show or something, and they're like, "What's wrong with this guy?" And then like somebody would go, "Can you pass me like a 1/8 inch socket?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what you
I
want a
don't know what that is.
sandwich?" Yeah, like what are you doing? So yeah, it was that community was awesome. I thought you could always ask a question, get an answer. You could always buy things, and people would walk you through. Like I'm exaggerating, people would walk you through how to put things on your car.
For sure. I mean, the blow off valve was one I remember thinking, like, should I install this on my own? I think is what I asked, and somebody said, "Hey, we're doing a thing. Why don't you come by? We'll install it." And it's just like, you know,
And it's crazy. It's why those cars are still holding their value, right?
yeah, people love those things. We were looking at them the other day. I'm like, dang, had we just kept it, not
Yeah,
that it'd be worth a fortune or anything, but like they held their value well.
dude, a 2002 to 2004 WRX with high mileage, anywhere from like 8 to 14,000, depending on the condition. People are still looking for these cars, and I think if you're getting this car, if you're getting into a WRX, lower it, drop it like an inch because it's an all-wheel drive. You don't want to slam it. I don't think putting air ride on this car is what you should do. Drop it an inch.
Yeah, you don't want
Wheels,
to bag it.
wheels, right? I mean, get yourself either nice wheels like Pro Drive or something, or a cheap set like Rhoda's. They would hold up. Tint, and then a couple other things, and you're done.
Yeah, it's like an old school. Like it's hard to believe that that is an old, classic looking car now.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into like some other episodes about some of the other cars we own, maybe even ones before that. But that car to me was always like, anytime I went anywhere, you stop at a light, and everyone was like, the one thing they would always say is, I love that color.
Yeah, the color was sick.
World Rally Blue. You couldn't beat it.
The blue with the gold bronze wheels, that combination. I would have never bought gold wheels had it not been for that car. But now I'm like accustomed to it, right? I've got a Beamer. I'm fine with gold wheels. Not that I
Yeah.
have them, but if I, before I would have been like gold wheels. What kind of pretentious like
Yeah.
douchebag are you? But like now they work on that car. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
I mean, usually when you say gold wheels, you think about like the Sprite Donk, right? That has 30-inch gold wheels on it. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
like
But
a
no.
shiny gold. This is like a matte,
Hmm.
bronze almost finish. It wasn't like a chromed out BBS spinning type wheel. It was a very racy looking gold.
Yeah. And that sound, you could, yeah, like even now, we're pretty close to the main road. Every now and then I'll hear that noise come by, and I know it's a
It's a
Subaru, it's a
Subi.
WX. Yeah. I don't get that
Yeah, I
anymore,
love.
right? Like, I mean, you do. You've got a. We'll talk about it. Where you have a nice M3 that's got sound. Your other car doesn't even make sound, right? The Tesla.
Yeah, the Tesla makes no sound.
It's
The
just like
reverse, they added some ambient sound so you know that you're gonna get run over. That's about
I
it.
appreciate that. Like, and can you change it? Can you make it like a cat? Like, so you put
I
it in
wish
reverse. Meow meow.
they have this new. So we got the first gen Model 3, and that had no sound on reverse, and then they updated the next version had a little like ambient like whistle.
Yeah. The only sound you heard when you put it in reverse was like, "Ow!"
Yeah, pretty
They're,
much.
they're like, "Oh my god, we got to put something on there." Yeah.
No, that car. I mean, this. Yeah, I I love the modern stuff for what it is, but it just doesn't have the feel of the old cars.
It doesn't.
Um, it just doesn't. It doesn't have like a life. I mean, it does. Like it's fun. I've gotten into ludicrous mode of a Model S, and it's like really fun for straightaways and
Yeah.
stuff. But like the feel of driving is not there, right? It's like that thing just driving you, and you're just a
Yeah.
passenger. Versus like you get a classic, 3 pedal, you know, car with a loud exhaust. It feels like you're in control.
You're putting in
It's different.
work. You remember the WX had a Momo steering wheel, right? You remember that?
Yeah,
And didn't it have Recaro seats?
Recaro seats and the Momo steering wheel.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was so cool.
God, that car was perfect for like our age group.
It really was. I mean, at
Like,
that age, like, because you couldn't afford. I mean, it was. I bought mine for 23. Like, I didn't. It wasn't like I was bending over backwards to afford that car. And then, like, anytime you wanted to upgrade it, you would add a little more money to it, and
yeah. And they
it was
weren't like
fun.
crazy prices for the parts. I remember like Ibach
No, not at
springs
all.
or TN springs or however you pronounce it, like $180 or something.
Yeah, it was very reasonable to play around with. Like,
Yeah.
if you put 2 grand in a year, like you're putting stuff in it every other month.
It was a showstopper at that point. But yeah, that was the funny thing. Like we weren't, like looking at SEMA and like all the pictures that have come out from all the crazy cars and like people build to show them. And I think if you build the cars so you love it, it becomes like a showstopper. But don't build a show car. You know what I mean?
Right. Now everything's over the top. In order to get on YouTube or on anything, you got to go crazy with it. Like
Yeah,
GT kit and like lowered and slammed with
everything.
know,
Or lifted if you
bags
got a
and
Tundra.
dropped. Yeah, it's nuts. Like
So
it's a different time.
it is a different time. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a
The
little parenting corner. How
All
are the
right, let's
kids
do it.
doing?
Everyone's sick right now with the flu.
Yeah, right?
I don't know if it's a flu. I think it's just like the doctor says RSV is going around right now for the kids. I mean, you can probably tell I'm a little congested. Like all of us are a little bit sick.
Yeah.
Um, we like bailed on Thanksgiving plans because everyone was sick and we're coughing, so we stayed home last night.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I think you're exactly right, though. Like, I went to pick up my daughter, and she was coughing and congested, and she's been like that for weeks. Next day, my wife took her to the doctor. She's got like the flu, and then my little one just got back from the doctor today, and my middle one's coughing, and everyone's got like gingivitis. And no, I'm just kidding.
So what do you do? What is your parenting tip, or maybe what have you done that you shouldn't have done for cough cold season?
So I think the biggest thing you can do, and this is kudos to my oldest, when she gets sick, she just instantly like quarantines herself.
He
Okay,
just doesn't
so
want to see anybody, probably.
yeah, and I think that is the best thing you can do. Then I think you go old school, right? And like we said, I'm Asian too, so you start going with like Vicks rub at night,
Yes.
and it gets on everything, right? And
Is there no Indian like supplement or spices that you make them drink?
yeah, I mean, it's like I'm sure you can mix up some concoction, but we don't. I mean,
You don't do it.
like tea and you mix like some things in there, but we do Vicks, we do whatever over the counter things, rest, a lot of liquids, and then we try to separate them to the extent that we can. But when
It's hard.
you live in a house of kids, everyone's gonna get it. It's
Yeah.
inevitable.
At some point, you're all gonna get it. Just you might as well just inject yourself with it.
Yeah, my just cough on me at that point and let's get it over with. But we're no, I mean it builds up your immune system as a family, so just as long as it's
There's
not
this
like
herbal. There's a
hmm,
herbal. There's a herbal like syrup that my parents would give me as a kid. I hated it, and of course, I make my kids take it. I don't think
it,
it even works. I just like because I did it. You have to do it. Like
exactly, that's the thing, right?
yeah,
And there's too
yeah.
many, like we don't even tell family members anymore to the extent of like what the exact symptoms are, because then you start getting like recipes in and it's too much.
It is. It's a
And
lot.
nobody ever says anything good like get fried chicken and biscuits, like it's gonna help you. It's always like mix the weirdest thing and then put it in a sock and throw it outside. And once a cat's drank 30%, then you drink the rest. Like what?
They're like keep drinking it for like a week. It'll get it better. I'm like a week will just get better regardless.
Yeah,
You don't need any.
yeah. So, dude, that's actually a good idea. I should make up random stuff for my kids. Like, you need to get waffle fries, not regular. You need to get waffle fries right now.
No,
So you,
the one thing I've noticed with kids and like sicknesses, it seems like when you go down the path of WebMD, like me,
Oh,
for our age, when I go down my path, everything leads to cancer and dying. But kids is like the other way. It's like, oh, this is totally normal. Like
yeah.
every kid has this. Don't worry about it. Which I don't know. It's weird how the WebMD rabbit hole for kids is so different than adults. Like
I went down that
adults
whole
is definitely you're dying.
100%.
Kids,
No matter where you start.
100% don't like. Oh my God, they're bleeding out of the ears, and then you go down. It's like, oh, apparently that happens to a lot of kids. Like
Yeah.
we're
And
dead.
they have 140-degree temperature. You're fine. But
Totally,
it's like
yeah.
you're exactly right. For an adult, it's choose your own adventure, and it ends the same way every time.
They all end with cancer.
It all ends like you like get off your phone, and I'm just sitting there. My wife's like, "What's wrong? Are you still like stuffy?" I think I have cancer, according to
Pretty
WebMD.
sure I have cancer, according to this, it's sinus cancer.
And meanwhile, my child has like 184-degree temperature, and it's like, give her some candy. She's fine.
Give her ice cream.
I think it's like the guys that are and people at WebMD, the developers, right? They're just messing with people.
They probably.
Mm.
They
But
they
you know,
can
with
sell they
kids,
can sell a lot of cough syrup.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But one of the things I was going to ask you is like bedtimes. What are your so what does it look like for you guys? You've got a 7 and 10-year-old,
6 and 10.
6 and 10.
It's a drawn out, like basically 16-hour adventure to get them to sleep.
Like as soon as they wake up, it's you're talking about bedtime.
Pretty much.
You're
I mean,
selling
to
it.
speed it up. Yeah, once I wake them up, I'm like, all right, the sleeping process begins. And then it's like 15 stories, 30 cups of water, bathroom breaks, and reading this and that, and lights on and off, and this and that.
Is it really? Are
It
you
is.
reading
It's
a
a
lot of
whole thing.
stories?
Tons every night.
Oh man.
I mean,
Are,
I'll read till my voice is completely exhausted, and then I'll turn on the iPad for another. I mean, sometimes we'll try to get them in bed by 8. Sometimes it's 11 when they get to sleep.
why? What are kids doing? Like why do
I have
kids
no
fight this?
idea.
And then they wake up irritated, right?
Yeah, they wake up at the. Well, the funny thing is, if there's no school, like today, crack of dawn, they're awake. When there's
Yeah.
school, they won't. When there's school, they won't wake up. Like
No alarm or anything. They're like, "Good
crack of
morning."
dawn,
It
awake.
would be a good morning if you slept another 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly. But when there's school, 7 a.m., they can't get up. It's really. It's weird.
Our our little
What about
one,
you guys?
she's
What are you guys doing to sleep? Get them to
so
sleep.
I think we're on the lenient side. Like we're
You just let them go. You just let them stay up till they're
not.
ready to go to sleep.
No, I mean like 9 o'clock, and for the young one, the little one, 9 o'clock. But she pushes 10 sometimes. The middle child, it's like 10, but she's in high school, so it's like she's got responsibilities. She's pulling in good grades, so I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. Um, the high schooler, like she's now 18, so
2 in the morning.
she'll file a lawsuit if we say anything to her. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, college, right? Like bedtime. There's nothing as bedtime. And
Pretty
the
much.
funny thing, huh?
Yeah,
Y-
pretty much. You just try to
Right?
make it
Like
to the class the next day.
3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And the funny thing is, I forgot the first time I came home after going to college. I'm still in college mode, so that's what she's doing. Like she was like, "What are we doing tonight?" We're like, "All right, well, the game is on. We're gonna watch the Longhorns, right? It'll probably end around 10, 10:30." And she was like, "Can we watch a movie after that? Can we watch a movie after the game? I'm staying up late to watch the game." Like, so I asked my wife, I was like, "You want to watch a movie after that?" And she was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's
Why
like,
is this?
what?
What? What? Why is this happening?" And my middle one's like, "I don't know what's happening," and everyone's really confused and discombobulated. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But no, like bedtimes, they as long as they get to bed and they get like their whatever 7, 8 hours sleep, they're doing good. They're fine. I feel like on the weekend the
What
only
about
thing
when
is
they're
the
sick?
middle one, she won't wake up unless you wake her up. Like it's 1 o'clock right now, and I guarantee you she's not awake yet.
What about when they're sick? Do you let them? Are they waking up all throughout the night because they're coughing or?
Yeah, coughing, congested. Then we run a humidifier, and I'm drinking like 40 liters of Gatorade because I'm dehydrated then or overhydrated. The dog is
So
like,
what do you do? Are you up with the kid or are you knocked out?
no, I mean, like, well, if she's got a fever or that, then naturally, like, we're up. And, dude, like, when you have two, after you have three kids, what's like emergency and what's not. Like if she coughs a certain way, I'm like, clear the room. This is going to be a disaster. The next cough is going to be an explosion. Um, or if she's restless, like she'll still be asleep, but you can hear her moving around. You feel her forehead, and you're like, dude, she's got a fever. Put a towel on her head. Take some medicine. You're good. So after the third kid, like I feel like we've done good. We've kind of
Yeah, I
figured it out.
figured
But I
it out.
remember like the first kid, they
Yeah, then
coughed, and you were
you're like
like 911.
pretty much WebMD.
Yeah, and you're
No,
like, oh
that's
my god, she's okay, but I have cancer. No, but like, I think after a while
your
you kind
kid
of
has a
figure.
runny nose. You have cancer. Like,
Yeah, right. I should have looked it up. Why did I look it up? I did this to
no,
myself.
I'm a deep sleeper, so my wife is a really light sleeper. So usually I sleep through it unless she's sick or something.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't. I mean, I feel like I have tendencies. Like I go to bed and I go right into like REM immediately once I hit the pillow, and like it's become a daily thing where I'm holding up my phone and like looking at TikTok or YouTube. I fall asleep and it hits my face and like cracks open my skull, and then I'm like, oh, what happened? And
That's
then,
amazing.
but then after that, I don't really sleep too much, like solid sleep, and anything can kind of wake me up. Um, and then our dog is in the room, so he's walking around like he drinks like gallons of water in the middle of the night, and the bowl is in our room, so it's just like nonstop, like blah, 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 like drinking water, and
You can
then
hear all of it.
yeah, it's nonstop. So I don't know. I gave up on sleep. Like after having the first kid, I was like, I'm never gonna sleep again. So
It's fair.
I mean, that's why
I don't.
like I got like raccoon eyes.
Makes sense. And that's why there's the lion with the crown. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. That makes no sense either. the lion,
The lion with the crown.
the lion of the crown, King Lion. So
Lion King. I'm surprised Disney hasn't come after you for that. They
I
are
mean
coming for
that
you.
you put it together. That's it has nothing to do with Lion King, dude, and that's not their logo. You just I'm
What do you
surprised
mean?
Burger King
It's
hasn't
a
come
lion
after
with
you.
a king on it. I guess it's. I mean, Notorious B.I.G. could come back from the dead and get you.
Why? Oh, because the crown. But he was
Yeah.
never associated with the lion. The lion, like, that's my middle name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're dealing with that right now.
Lion King.
We're working on that right now. So wrapping this one up, I think next time we got to pick another one of our cars. Which one do you want to talk about? Pick. We've had a lot of overlap.
We
You
can
and
do the
I.
Audis. We can do the
You
Audis.
want to do the Audis? All right. So we're talking S4s next time.
Yeah, S4s.
That was for you. That was blue, right? Nagaro.
Disaster. Complete disaster. Yeah, the blue.
Yeah,
Navy blue.
that's right. So you. So all right, we'll talk about S4s next time. And I think on the parenting corner, we'll talk a little bit about what they're learning in school and why they're not really learning anything. Is school even
Yeah, can we
necessary?
talk about the new math?
Yeah, I think we need to next time. And
Yeah,
why
the new
nobody's
math.
bringing homework home.
I'm
Eh,
confused.
Yeah, none of my kids ever have homework, but somehow they always forget to turn it in, but they don't have it in the first place. So
All
it's
right,
like,
let's do it
all
next
right,
week.
got it.
All right, brother.
All right, we talk to you later.
Peace out.
Deep out.